Police in KwaZulu-Natal are investigating an inquest following the death of 23-year-old Mduduzi Luthuli at a Discipline Bootcamp SA. Luthuli attended the camp in early January but died just weeks later. His family is demanding answers from the organizers after he was rushed to hospital following an alleged assault while in their care. Newzroom Afrika's Silethiwe Ndlovu is tracking that story for us and joins us live. A very good morning to you, Silethiwe. Maybe just bring us into confidence with regards to the details around this incident. I mean, 2 days ago, the founder of the Discipline Bootcamp SA put out a statement on Facebook saying that they could have done better. They fully understand the frustration of the family with losing a child. They're as deeply heartbroken in losing a potential leader, and they're asking for time for them to be able to consult with the family.
Absolutely, Katleho. In fact, the conversation that we had with the owner of the boot camp, he states that he will be engaging with the family. There's no certainty as yet in terms of whether that engagement has taken place. However, the last conversation that we had with the owner, he did state that he would indeed be engaging with the family. But in terms of what actually transpired, the family states that Mduduzi Luthuli was admitted at Discipline Bootcamp SA on the 10th of January. Now, the camp has also, as you've stated, confirmed that yes, indeed, he was one of their intakes. Now, the family states that he was admitted at the camp after struggling for a number of years with drug abuse. Now, the owner of the camp states that Mduduzi was participating in the activities that take place at the camp. However, it seems as if only after a few days of being admitted at the camp, he and other intakes would make 2 attempts to escape from that particular camp. On the 22nd of January, however, we understand that the family received a worrying call coming from the camp where they stated that Mduduzi has now been taken to hospital after being unwell. Now, they state that that's all they were informed regarding why he was actually taken to the hospital. Upon arriving at the hospital, however, they state that they were told that Mduduzi had died before arriving at the hospital, and unfortunately there was nothing that they could do for him. And they also now allege that from the conversations that they've had with other intakes that were with Mduduzi at the time when he tried to escape, it seems as if he was allegedly assaulted at the camp because he wanted to escape the camp. Now, at this particular point, Katleho, those are allegations. They have not yet been confirmed by the police, nor have they been confirmed by the camp. But from the understanding that we have, and from the understanding that we have with other individuals that were with Mduduzi at the time, they state that indeed it seems as if there's an alleged assault that took place at the camp before he was taken to hospital. Now, I want us to have a listen to what Mduduzi's mother had to say to us regarding what actually transpired before he was taken to hospital.
Emva kwalokho-ke nijinyiswe kuze kube leyo ndaba. Wena uwena ungashaya ama-push-up awu-1000, uphinde ushaya ama-squat awu-1000 noma 2000. As long uMduduzi nalabafana laba ekade uplana nabo ukuthi bazama ukweqa babengakeqi, babesaplana nje. As long besaplana leyo nto, bashawela ukuthi baplana ukweqa, hayi ukuthi bashawela ukuthi babanjwe sebebaleka, cha. Bayaplana, bayaxoxa ukuthi okungcono ngoba sigqilazekile abazali bethu bakhokhile, ekubeni futhi nokuthi sikudla kukho, ekubeni abayazi lempilo esibhekene nayo la ukuthi la sibhekene nomzimba omngakanani njengoba sishawa. Njengoba sishawa kabuhlungu kanje, siphinde sigqilazwe ngale ndlela esigqilazwa ngayo. So ngaleyo ndlela-ke bamshaya baze babalimaza, baze bayochama igazi kuMduduzi waze waphela amandla khona kulapho.
So that's Mduduzi's mother, where she explains the activities that take place at the camp, and she states that there's excessive exercises that do take place. In fact, one of the other escapees, which we will give details in terms of what he told us when we engaged with him, but he also stated that it seems as if there's excessive exercise that does take place at the camp. So the mother in that conversation is explaining that before he passed, there was excessive exercise that took place, and that it seems as if he was beaten not because he had actually escaped, but because he was planning to escape. Now, I want us to have a listen to how many people allegedly assaulted Mduduzi before he attempted to escape.
Kuthiwa yonke ingane yayikhona kubanjwa ulayini ey'nganeni eziwu-8 kubanjwa ulayini kuzoshawa la bantu abawu-3. Umuntu ushaya ngendlela athanda ngayo, omunye uzoshaya kakhulu athi vi ngendlela athanda ngayo, noma ikawu-20, nomunye ehlapha ashaya kawu-15, nomunye ashaya abantu abawu-8 ushawa uwedwa.
Now, Mduduzi's mother in that conversation states that there's quite a number of people that assaulted her son before she passed away. Again, these are allegations at this particular point. We know, of course, that the police are investigating an inquest. We, however, had a conversation, as stated, with the owner. He has confirmed that Mduduzi was indeed one of their intakes, but also stating that he will not be commenting further at this particular point until investigations have been concluded. At this point, however, it remains to be known if indeed he was assaulted and why he was assaulted. The family claims that when they viewed the body, he had defense wounds, he had a number of marks on the lower part of his body. He also had a severe head injury and also a few marks on his body. So at this particular point, we wait to hear how the camp is actually going to explain those defense wounds and those marks that were on his body after he had been admitted at the camp. At this point, once again, allegations, and we wait to hear what actually took place on the 22nd of January when he was rushed to the hospital by the camp.
And Silethiwe, before we let you go, maybe just to get some clarity, I mean, we are seeing a rise in many of these discipline boot camps, especially when it comes to ensuring that young people are given lessons in terms of behavior and just sort of the discipline that they need to inculcate within themselves. Is there a payment from these parents when they do send their children to these boot camps? And do we know of any regulations around how these boot camps should be run, especially those allegations that the mother has now put out in saying that even other people that have been taken into the boot camp may also assault some of those that are within that intake?
In fact, Kateho, the mother is not the only one that states that those that are inside the camp may assault other intakes that are inside the camp. Now, as stated, we had a conversation with one of the escapees. He states that allegedly inside the camp, there's something called family court. Now, when we inquired with the owner of the camp, he stated that family court, I beg your pardon, is something that recently started, and what happens during family court is that when someone has done something wrong, then the other intakes and that particular individual discuss that wrongdoing. However, in the conversation that we had with one of the escapees, he states that family court is when you are allegedly assaulted by the 80 to 90 intakes that are inside the camp. Now, the owner of the camp did indeed confirm that on average during holidays, he does have between 80 to 90 intakes. And you also would have heard Mduduzi's mother state that during your time at the camp, you're also allegedly assaulted by these 80 to 90 intakes. So the escapee, one of the escapees, states that during family court, you are beaten by these 80 to 90 intakes. So they also state that, or the mother states that indeed there was money that was paid to the camp. I do believe she stated that it was close to 10,000 rand. That's the amount of money that she paid. However, I beg your pardon, the police have also stated that they do caution discipline camps to practice their activities within the legal framework, and that of course they will be monitoring those different discipline boot camps, including this one during this time.
Right, quite a bizarre story, but thank you so much, Silethiwe Ndlovu, for bringing us the latest with regards to that particular incident that happened at the Discipline Bootcamp SA. Let's